What is going down? Niner Empire, YouTube, Danny G here in the house. Man, I am pumped up for this game. Pumped up for the Niners to go into Philly for the NFC Championship game. Third NFC Championship game in 4 years. And if you want to go further back, the sixth NFC Championship appearance in the last 12 years. But still, it's been since about a couple years before I was born that the 49ers won their last Super Bowl, of course, winning five and then not winning the sixth, yet coming close a couple times. First time being 10 years ago in 2013, in the 2012-2013 season, and then, of course, 2019-2020 season. Coming close on both times, but still falling short. But now with the Super Bowl being in Arizona and in my backyard and also the backyard of Brock Purdy, it is just it would be a remarkable story if they were able to get their sixth ring this year, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves. We still got to beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Philadelphia Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC. Both these two teams are the best team in the NFC. But actually, before I get into this game, I would just want to quickly touch on the Dallas Cowboys game real quickly, beating them 19-12, four Robbie Gold field goals, and all they really needed was the one touchdown from CMC. But the defense did their job, and the fact that Dak Prescott didn't look too good either. Niners were able to get the win, and I will credit the Cowboys defense. They made Brock Purdy look a little rusty in the first half, and they shut down the running game with CMC and Elijah Mitchell. But Brock Purdy, of course, was able to bounce back like he always does in the second half. And the Niners' running game was able to come alive. Now, beating the Cowboys and knocking them out of the playoffs for the second year in a row, that is just awesome. Because, like I've said in my previous videos, the rivalry from the 70s, the 80s, to the 90s still stands to this day, and the Cowboys will always be the Niners' number one rival, despite them not being in the same division. And of course, the Niners beating their second biggest rival, I think, the Seattle Seahawks in the first round of the playoffs, and the Cowboys in the second round of the playoffs, and knock him out for the second year in a row. So beating your two biggest rivals to start the playoffs, there's nothing sweeter than that. But this is going to be the toughest opponent. And the Eagles' pass rush is no joke. Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, Hakeem Reddick, they're going to be pressuring Brock Purdy all game. But you know what? Brock Purdy has been pressured more than any quarterback since 2020, since any 49ers quarterback since 2020. And when Brock Purdy was being pressured by the Cowboys defense, one thing he did not do is he did not turn the ball over. He ran for his life, yes, but he did not turn the ball over. And he, like he always does when he's being pressured, he made smart decisions. He took the sack when he needed to, he threw the ball away when he needed to. He just did not turn the ball over. Now, if you can get a Brock Purdy that does not turn the ball over in this game, you have a really good chance of winning. But you're going into a hostile environment, you're going into Philadelphia, you're going into a stadium that can be very unkind to the opposing team and their fans, and I'm not gonna bash on the Philly fans because there's bad apples in every sport, but I will say that the Philly fans can be way over the top and can be crazy and can be classless at times. And don't think I didn't forget the 2009 game. You can look it up on YouTube. There's Niner fans getting snowballs thrown at them. I think it was one of them was a Michael Crabtree jersey. Uh, but yeah, you can look that up on YouTube. And that did in fact happen. And Eagle fans, of course. I actually heard a caller from Philadelphia call into FP Santangelo on KMBR and actually explain it in a better context. And apparently the Santa Claus was drunk, and that's why they threw the snowballs at him. But a famous time, I think it was in the 60s, Eagle fans threw snowballs at Santa Claus. But every fan base has their bad fans, and I know a lot of Eagle fans here on YouTube from doing the TTC, the Trash Talking Circle, for so long. Of course, PR52 being one of them. I've known him forever, and Rob, aka Eagles fan for life 17, former video maker out here. I've met him a couple times in person. He goes to a lot of Eagles games. He gets drunk, of course, and but hey, the Eagle fans, the Philly fans, they're just passionate about their team. A lot of them go over the top, and it can be a hostile environment. But there's bad apples in every fan base. And as far as the Niners going into a hostile environment and that affecting them, I don't think it will. They went into Seattle, which is a very loud stadium, and they're one of their biggest rivals, and what is a hostile environment as well. And Brock Purdy, what did he do? He looked completely poised. He looked completely confident, and he just balled out, and he led the Niners to the win to clinch the NFC West. So I'm really hoping that we can see the same Brock Purdy that we saw going into Seattle. Another reason why this game is going to be a little bit tougher is because we haven't played a game on the East Coast in forever. The last game was actually in Atlanta, and the Niners did lose that game back in October. And of course, the last game the Niners lost was all the way back on October 23rd at home against the Chiefs. But we've won 12 in a row, and of course, the Eagles also started off the year 8-0. So these are the two best teams in the NFC without a doubt. And it's going to be a battle. Now, going up against Jalen Hurts, he's a really good quarterback, I think. He's a good rushing quarterback. He's what a lot of Niner fans, myself including, are hoping will be what Trey Lance is someday, and we've seen some flashes of it in the small sample size that we've seen of him. But right now, of course, it is Brock Purdy's show. This is Brock Purdy's team, but we hope for Trey Lance as at least a backup if he's still able to fulfill that role and doesn't want to get traded into a better situation where he could start, because the Niners, of course, you know that one injury away from needing a reliable backup. And as much as I love Jimmy G, I think we owe it to him for him to start on another team. But forget about that. Fuck next year. Right now, we gotta focus on beating the Philadelphia Eagles with Brock Purdy. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But Jalen Hurts, he's a good quarterback. He's a good rushing quarterback. Has a good arm as well, of course. But I think if you can force him to throw and make him one-dimensional, if the Niners defense can just do what they've been doing this entire season. Now, I think we need to see Nick Bosa actually have a big game. We haven't in the last 2 weeks. So we need to actually see Nick Bosa have a few sacks and ball out like he has before. But, man, this defense overall, of course, has been balling out. The linebacking core with Azeez Al-Shire, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw has just been incredible. The secondary has been pretty damn good as well. Domador Lenore, a lot of people thought he was a weak link on this team, and he's had an interception in these last 2 games. So if we can keep seeing Domador Lenore, ball out, and then it's going to be tough for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles to be able to get in the end zone and be able to get those big plays off. And they've got some good-ass receivers, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and a really good tight end in Dallas Goedert. So it's not going to be easy against this Eagles offense because the Eagles got a high-powered offense. I got Miles Sanders who can run the ball pretty damn well as well. But this Niners defense has held so many teams to. They've shut out a bunch of teams in the second half this year, but I don't expect them to shut out the Eagles in the second half. But I do expect the Niners to come away with the win in a close game. I'm going to predict 24-17 or 21-17, something like that, as the final score. That's just my prediction. But again, they're going to have to play better than they did against the Cowboys. They're going to have to at least get in the end zone a little bit. Robbie Gould, I expect him to make some field goal. I expect us to get into the red zone but not quite get in the end zone because the Eagles got a damn good defense, and Robbie Gould is going to make some field goals. I predict that, but they're gonna have to get in the end zone more than once, I think, to win this game. And we're gonna have to get that running game going with Elijah Mitchell and CMC, of course. Oh, I'm expecting to see CMC get some screen passes as well from Purdy, and we're just gonna have to keep seeing the Purdy Kittle connection because Brock Purdy has just made George Kittle look the best he has in his whole career, and that's saying a lot because George Kittle has had a damn good career, but he's also looked the best he has in a while as well. I think Kittle found his quarterback. Iowa and Iowa State have a really good connection. So just going to have to keep seeing more of that, and also going to have to get Debo in both the running game and the passing game as well. But again, you're going into a hostile environment. It's not going to be easy, but I expect the Niners to get the job done. And also, hopefully, they can get Juwan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk some targets as well. So if they can get all their big playmakers on offense going, and if the defense can just keep doing its thing, hopefully the Niners can come on top, get the victory, and advance to the Super Bowl. And then we can talk about them finally getting their 6th ring 30 minutes from my house in Arizona. That would be awesome. I'm really hoping for that. Let's get it done. Danny G is out. Let's go Niners. Peace!